What's up, everybody? Steven here, the Horror Freak 85, here with Miss Boomstick as always. And tonight, our guest is Sarah Booth. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for taking the time to come out and talk to us. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Well, we kill a few time here. Have you watched any, since it's Women Horror Month, any good female horror movies or anything lately, or just busy working?
Ooh, you know what? I haven't seen Scream yet, but I'm very excited to see it because it was shot in my home city. So I have a lot of friends that have like bit parts in it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Actually, one of my friends, Max, who was on Three Pines as well, he is Ghostface. Like he does all the stunts for Ghostface. So it's pretty, like, I'm excited to watch it and see, all his badass stunts.
Sounds fun. Who was he in Three Pines?
He was like the main murder suspect for the last 2 episodes.
Okay.
Gotcha. Yeah, in a lot of ways. Yeah.
Yeah, I won't ruin that for anyone who hasn't watched it, but great show. Yeah, I watched all of them this past week. So
thank you so much.
I'm so mad that they're not going to do a second season. I heard that just like right after I started watching it, I was like, are you serious? I don't want to watch it now. I mean, I do want to watch it, but I'm like, I'm going to hate it knowing that it's not going to continue.
Yeah, 100%. Big bummer. Yeah, we're sad for sure. It was such a pleasure to shoot that show, and everyone was so awesome. In front of the camera, behind the camera, the team was incredible. It was, mostly a Montreal crew. So I knew a lot of them from projects that I've done in the past. And it was just, like every day was so much fun. And I was really looking forward to going back. But it is what it is. You gotta move on, and you gotta also, I guess, believe that everything happens for a reason, right?
Yeah. Hopefully they at least like maybe do a movie or something to wrap it up, or
that
something
would be really fun.
Even if it's just like 1 hour and a half or 2 hours, just at least conclude that. I mean, that's like the worst cliffhanger ever.
Yeah. I was like, no, not that ending. Yeah.
So go ahead, Boo.
Your character is so adorable in that too.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, she was just so much fun to play. Every day I would go to work and just literally play and figure out, how I was going to, I don't know, just, find my way into every scene, because I feel like, she's there a lot of the time and she is trying to find her place among this team. So that's kind of how I felt every day, of like getting on set and being like, okay, how do I fit in? Because, they're talking about a lot of the exposition and I'm here listening a lot, or like adding, some different perspectives to the case. So it was just fun to explore, her quirky little ways of getting her point across.
I love how we get introduced to her too. It's like when they just come up there and she's, telling them everything, and they walk away and you see her in the background just doing jumping jacks.
Hey, that's what you do when you got to stay warm.
That is true.
Yeah, it's very true.
I'm in Wisconsin, so I feel it.
Right? Yeah, it's such like a damp, cold. So you gotta keep everything moving for sure.
Keep the blood flowing. Yeah, I don't have to worry about that here. Thank you, Florida.
Oh yeah, you don't.
No, it does have bipolar weather: hot, cold, rain, sunny. Great. It can't make up its mind.
Except I don't think their cold goes under 40.
Yeah. So, I've had the occasional ice on the car, but that's it. Really, it's not too bad. So at least I don't have to drive in it or anything. So
true.
Yeah, I did enjoy the line where you're like, "Let's kick the door down." And it's like, this isn't the movie. When first episode or first 2 episodes, I believe it was.
Yeah, she has very good imagination. She just kind of assumes that's what happens. That's what she sees on TV.
So also, I know that it's based on the book series. I don't know how many books. I didn't check it out, but have you read any of the books?
Yeah, I was up to book number 9, I think. Yeah, Beautiful Mystery. So I really like listening to them on Audible. I like to, you know, walk or run or clean while I listen to my books. It helps me focus, I think.
How was it? Did you read the books before or after or during the shoot, or did you want to like get your own portrayal on the character, or did you want to pick any inspiration from the book itself?
Well, when I auditioned for the role, I realized that the character was quite different from the character in the books. So she was a little bit more of the comic relief and lightness in the television series, but in the book, she's I would say like more hard-headed. She challenges everyone a little bit more. So I was able to kind of create this new version of the character for the television series with the creators, which was really fun. But also, you know, draw on some scenarios and some of the books that I had read that she was included. So I think I read about 4 or 5 books before we started shooting. And oh no, that's a lie. I think I read like 2. And then we started shooting and I stopped because I started getting confused. I was like, wait, does this happen in the book or in this? Anyway, so I was like, I got to stop reading the books. And then as soon as we stopped shooting, I picked up the books again and started, you know, like just discovering like, oh, maybe, you know, this will happen in season 2 or, you know, just to kind of, it was really fascinating to see how, you know, people adapt a novel to, you know, a television series. So
Yeah, it's always interesting when you read the book to the show. Obviously, it's not going to be exactly like the book, but it's interesting to see how.
Yeah, if it was exactly like the books, I feel like every book would be like 3 seasons. You know, like the books really go into detail, and that's, you know, sometimes really hard to do in a TV series. And it was also interesting to read a lot of the like audience feedback because everyone has, you know, a completely different imagination and idea of what their version of Three Pines was. So yeah, it was just like interesting to see like what people like absolutely needed in the television series to like make it their Three Pines. Or a lot of people were like, wow, I would have never imagined, you know, I don't know, Gamache like being Alfred Molina. Like I would have never imagined that, but it works so well. So I think it was cool for, you know, the fans of the books to see how a lot of other people, you know, in their favorite stories. Oh, do we have a little? Did I freeze?
A little bit, but
for a second, but you're back.
Okay, good.
Welcome back again. So how
I
was
was worried for a second that he was going to disappear because it kind of digitized for a
it?
second.
Did digitize. I'm like, what's up?
Internet. Yeah, the wind here is pretty intense, so I don't know what's going on, but
It has been here too. I'm not sure where you're at, but yeah, it's been here as well. We had high wind
I'm in Windsor, which is like right across the river from Detroit. So, you know, not far from. I was in Wisconsin 2 weeks ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in Beloit. Yeah, it was fun.
That's so far from me.
Oh, really? Where are you?
Janesville.
Oh, that's like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were at the film festival.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I didn't even know there was a film festival there. Nice.
Yeah, it's an awesome film festival. Yeah, you should definitely check it out. Next year, it's going to be in April. Yeah.
I need to make a note of that because I had no idea Beloit did a film festival that close to me. That's awesome.
Yeah, they do. It's great.
So yeah, not much close to you. Now you're like, oh, I'm gonna have to go to that now.
No, definitely. I've been trying to find like things that, you know, go around that somewhere remotely close to me. So yeah, definitely. Because yeah, Beloit's not that far at all.
They have great restaurants, gotta say.
Just like, take a note. So how was it working with Alfred Molina?
Oh, he was great. You know, he's just such a legend. He's really generous with his time and his talent, and he was also an executive producer on the show. So, you know, he's really invested in this project, and I just had so much fun with him. Like, he's really playful, and he doesn't take himself, you know, too seriously. So it was a wonderful experience. You know, we didn't have to feel afraid of our star, which is always nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hobbs was saying he remembers getting the movie. I think he's talking about Scarehouse at a family video reviewing it, and the director and some of the cast reached out to me after the review. Much respect, and thank you for that.
Oh, awesome! Well, thanks for reviewing. Like we had so much fun making Scarehouse. Oops, how rude. We had so much fun making Scarehouse, and it was a wild ride. And we're just so happy that the movie continues to have a life. And, every year, especially around Halloween, we always have a lot of, people that'll have like a group watch, and we'll be invited to, jump in on that or do a Q&A after. So it was, we're just so happy that people enjoyed it and enjoyed our creative kills.
Yes.
Yeah, that was going to be one of my questions, actually, is how do you come up with so many? Because you were a writer on there as well. Like, how you come up with so many creative kills?
I don't know. I think me and my husband wrote the movie pretty quickly. And we knew, how many people we wanted to kill. And then based on, who who the characters were, their backstories, we kind of leaned into, creative ways to murder people. But what was really interesting is that, sometimes we would go for runs at night, or we would go grocery shopping or whatever. But we were kind of like on we would start writing in the late afternoon and write till like late at night. So sometimes if we were feeling stuck, we would go do, our groceries at midnight or whatever. And we would talk while we were doing other things. And, sometimes people are taking bananas. And I was like, so how big of a Jeep wench do you think we would need to like crush someone's ribs, like actually crush them? And like someone's like, but I was like, oh, we should probably stop talking about this at midnight in a grocery store. But yeah, we were just, I don't know, just trying to be as creative as possible and think of, fun tasks that haven't been done.
That to mess with them at the store, you should buy like trash bags, bleach, shovel, rope, gloves. Like, what are you doing? Just to psych them out. Like, okay, they're talking about murdering people and shopping for supplies here. What's going on?
Yeah, exactly. At least we were buying food. We weren't buying weird stuff. So
see, more people need to see it. Honestly, I feel like it's a hidden gem. Did you have any feelings of claustrophobia in the building? The ending was insane and so good. I want a copy on Blu-ray. Okay, so yeah, about the building, any claustrophobia?
Oh, you know what? I think what got us is that we would shoot at night. So, we were in a building at night, with no light. And then during the day, we were sleeping. So I feel like maybe not the claustrophobia of the building, but just the endless darkness for 3 weeks was like, you definitely got into that, like, ooh, this creepy building. The building was perfect when we got there. We added, set dressing, but the room where we did the Jeep wench, the walls were already like that, like the building was creepy on its own. So I think just being in there for 3 weeks plus pre-production and post-production, or wrap up was, you just kind of, that building like oozed into you. I think you just felt disgusting after. Yeah.
Perfect setting then.
Yeah, it was.
I have to say, one of my favorite kills, I won't go too much detail, but the breast implant. That was brutal.
Yes, that was so fun and weird to do. But Emily was such a wonderful sport, and we ended up just, feeding off of each other so much during that scene. And yeah, I feel like we improv'd a lot of those little moments and, standoffs, and that boob scene. We weren't sure if it was going to work, but it worked, you just watching the footage back. Because in person, you're kind of like, I don't know, like, but it depends how you frame everything, it's just, and the sound effects, it's just, it all comes together in post-production, and it's incredible what you can do, to creep people out. Because you just have to give them a glimpse, and then, like I said, our imaginations will take care of the rest, and usually have way bigger budgets than genre movies have.
Was the ending ever altered, or was that decided right from the beginning?
That was decided right from the beginning. Yeah, that she was gonna. I don't want to say it, but that that was gonna happen. yeah, that was decided. And it's fun because when you watch it for a second time, or third time, or fourth time, you're like, oh, okay. You catch little moments of where we tell you kind of what's happening.
And the movie is on Tubi right now for anybody interested in watching it and don't have a physical copy to watch. So
yeah, it's on Tubi, and is it on Amazon? Maybe on Amazon too. I'm not sure.
Maybe.
I know. Oh, I think The Last Call's on Amazon in the States. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually got a copy in horror packets somewhere in my collection there, but I believe you signed it, or someone had signed it. Either your husband or you had signed it, like it was special for horror pack. I don't know.
I think we both did.
I think you both did. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember sitting down and signing a lot of those because
horror pack.
Yeah. With them. Yeah.
So that was cool. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. Now I got you on here. It's everything happens. It's funny. Works out that way.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Then on there it says you also did stunts with it. Did you create the stunts or
on Scarehouse?
Yeah.
We had a stunt coordinator and also a fight coordinator, and we just had a lot of fun basically creating the fights, but also the fights were telling a big part of the story, and it wasn't just fighting to fight, and showing each girl's strengths and weaknesses. So it was really fun to collaborate on those fights depending on what our characters were up to, or how we felt our characters would react in a certain situation. So Kevin brought a lot of he challenged us a lot to do things like flips and things that you're like, I don't know if we can do that, and he would always figure out a way to make it safe and just work for camera, and it seems a lot more elaborate than it is. But yeah, it was a lot of fun to just create those moments, and all the girls were super gung-ho to do their own stunts and to always take it further. And yeah, we just had a great team of really physical badass girls. So we were pretty lucky.
Let's see. Did you guys ever have any tension on the film? Seems like all the harsh arguments in the film seem so real to me. I would be surprised there was no tension left out.
Well, I think when you make an independent film, there's always difficulties to every movie. But we were you know what? We had, I think there was a lot of problems more on the we had to shoot at night. So, that's, tough on a crew. We had to shoot in this creepy building and you're always in the dark. So, I think all those types of things are tough for everyone, but everyone really pulled through, and we had a lot of fun, creating these really disgusting kills, and also the arguments within the film, I think, play because everyone was such, just so good at what they do. All the actors were amazing, and made the script, even better with their performances. So we were pretty lucky in that way to have really grounded actors take on those roles.
You did mention earlier, there was a little improv playing off each other. How much improv was thrown into the script, if you can recall?
I think there was definitely, everyone brought their kind of, ideas for each character. And Gavin is so good, to allow people to collaborate. So when Ivana was, in the fun house and she doesn't want to go through because she's scared, like Gavin was just like, just improv, like go for it. So we definitely had like some fun moments where the characters, the actors knew how to make that moment, just pop or shine even more because, they know their characters
Right.
the most at the end of the day. So yeah, we always had, at least a take for, the actors to be like, okay, I just want to try this and things like that. So it was pretty fun to have that collaboration.
Go ahead, Boom. Any questions there before I go on?
You do several, and not just in Scare House, but in a lot of your work, you do several emotional scenes. Is there like a process to get yourself into that, or is there like really hard to get you into that?
I guess it kind of depends. Sometimes it's really easy to, just drop into emotional scenes depending, on what's going on in my life or this or that. And other times I definitely need sometimes, music or I don't know, images. It kind of depends on each each character that I get to play. I don't necessarily have the same process with each one. So some it's just like right there. You're like, oh, I know who this woman is and I know I can relate to what she's going through very easily. So getting to an emotional level is really simple, but other times it's just not, or you're like, oh, I don't know how I can, make this situation relate to my life and feel for her. So sometimes it takes, a little bit more digging into either your own life or, some actors don't like to go into their stuff. So sometimes it's just having like triggers that can help you, either on the day or, the day before or whatever, however you prepare for the role.
Do you have a way that you decompress to kind of get yourself out of that?
Yeah. Well, again, I feel like it's always a little bit different, but definitely I feel like one thing that I like to do when I get home from like a day on set, especially if it's emotional, I love to like have a beer and sit in either a hot tub or a bath and just chill. Like that's probably my most favorite thing to do at the end of the day. I'm just like, let it go. But yeah, but you know what? Like I'm always so happy to be on set. It always makes me so, even if it's a really emotional day, like just knowing that you did your job and it's such a good feeling to come home to.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of your emotional work on here, and you did very well. That's why I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "How does she like get to there?" Then I'm, wonder what her decompression thing was because some of them are like really intense.
Yeah, well, you know what? And sometimes like those emotional days on set are ways to like decompress too. I guess sometimes, as like human beings, we have to keep shit in a lot just because, we're adults and we have to respect other people. But sometimes it's a really nice way to let go of some stuff, that we're not aware, I guess, we hold on to. Yeah.
That is true. I've never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
So since you've done different genres, whether it be sci-fi, action, horror, drama, do you have any favorites that you prefer to do, or you just enjoy it all the same?
I like to like jump from genre to genre. I think it just keeps it interesting and fun, and you just get to work with so many different types of directors and teams behind the camera. But I definitely gravitate towards action and drama mostly. I love doing comedy, but I don't, like I've definitely done comedic roles, but I just tend to book more drama because I think it's easy or easier for me to go there. And because I have, you know, a good dramatic television reel and film reel, that I just get those opportunities. So I would like to do more comedy, and I would like to do more action for sure.
Hob says, where do you get your inspirations from for your films? Also, are you a big fan of fellow Canadian Campbell? Would you ever like to work with her?
Oh, with Miss Nev? I mean, yeah. I would love, I think she was, when I watched Scream, that was one movie that what year did it come out? 96?
I want to say 96.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was 10. So when I saw Scream, I was like, well, I was probably maybe 11. I don't know. Cause you know, I didn't go see it in theaters, let's be honest, but I saw it at home. But that movie was like, whoa, that was like the most hardcore horror movie that felt like it could happen.
Yeah.
To anyone, us, you know. So that really freaked me out, and I just, you know, every year that I ended up getting over being afraid of that movie, the next one would come out, and I'd be like, oh no. But I would, yes, of course, love to work with Nev Campbell. I love her choices that she's made as an actor, you know, later on in her career too. And wait, what was the first part? Oh, inspiration for our film. Yeah, I think me and Gavin like bounce ideas a lot off of each other, and we just tend to keep like either a Google Doc or a notepad of, this is a cool idea, or that's a cool idea. And we just, I guess, tend to develop the ones that we think about more, that we're more inspired by at the time, and then try to, you know, pitch the ones that make sense, or we're like, oh, we have a location, like for that film, this would be the perfect location. We could get it, you know, in September for a month. Let's do it. Let's drive forward with that movie. So I think it's a mix between, you know, what we have kind of going on and what is available to us at the time.
Hobbs wants to know if you're also a fan of classical musicals like Rocky Horror or Repo the Genetic Opera.
I actually just saw Rocky Horror in Beloit. It's like, I think the first Saturday or Sunday, I forget, of the festival, they they do the movie with the live performance in front. So I hadn't seen it in a couple of years, and I was like, how did this movie get made back then?
Right.
And then we went home and we YouTubed, how did this movie get made? And it's like, the story's fascinating, and it was pulled after one weekend in the theaters because it was just like, you know, nobody wants to watch this. And because of, you know, the underground horror and, you know, like drag, LGBTQ community, without internet or social media, like made it like the biggest cult following film and live, performance ever. And I was like, wow, that's incredible, that story. So that it's definitely, you know, that movie is 100% dependent on the fans.
Yeah. And how about Repo the Genetic Opera? Have you seen that yet?
I have not seen that.
That's a good one. You should check that out. It's got Bill Moseley is in it. What's his name? Paul Sorvino is in it. Okay. Let's see. The dude from Skinny Puppy Band is in it. I can't think of his name right now. It's got a great cast. Anthony Stewart Head, who was Giles on Buffy.
Okay.
He plays the Repo Man. So.
Okay, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Sorry if you heard my cat. My cat was screaming at my son, so I don't know if the mic picked it up or not. That's why I was kind of looking over there. I was laughing at him because the cat was screaming at him.
Here come the pets now.
Yeah, here they come.
How about you? You have any animals?
I had a little doggy. His name was Puck, but he actually passed away like oh gosh, like about 6 weeks ago now.
Oh,
We miss him a lot. Yeah,
Sorry.
he's our little buddy. But he was in a lot of our projects too. So he will live on forever in our movies.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Charles said Paris Hilton was in Repo as well. Yeah. So
Really?
I did
yeah,
not know that. But I haven't seen that movie either. So
yeah, she's the daughter of Gene Co. And yeah, so
I feel like the
she's a
only
sister.
horror movie I've seen her in is
House of
House
Wax.
of White. What a good death.
I think this is about the one thing he might ever remembers
just like
about
one
movie.
night, just like one night in Paris, she gave good head. At the point.
There you go. Yeah, like that was such a good. Yeah, I remember everyone in the theater was very excited when that happened.
Yeah. It's like, oh, she died. All right.
Violently died.
Yes. I have
Yeah.
to watch that. It's been a long time since I watched that, but I remember it though. That scene, I'll never forget that though. That's like the stick out scene.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I said that's about the only thing anybody remembers of that movie.
I
Exactly.
think so. Yeah.
Not a good sign, eh?
Yeah. I don't remember much else of it offhand. So yeah, that's.
But you also do a lot of crime shows. Are you a fan of like the true crime stuff? Or
Yeah.
not all of it's probably true crime, but crime in general.
Well, I think
shows.
isn't Three Pines sort of based on some true stories too with the Indians, the indigenous people? Or...
Yeah, so Three Pines, like the kind of like arching story of the first season. Well, the season.
the season.
The season was actually like there was a very small storyline in one of the books that inspired this, big storyline, and it's I mean also based on reality, which is the residential school system that happened to the indigenous communities with the basically it's Christianity trying to convert everyone, and just like the horrendous things that happened to these communities. So I'm so happy that Three Pines decided to take that history and really, instead of people like, we read so many tragic headlines, and I feel like, everything's so sensationalized that we're kind of like, oh, that's terrible, how horrible, but I feel like putting emotions and faces to, to these stories, it was just so powerful for a lot of people, because a lot of people had no idea that this actually happened. And, I had an idea of what had happened, but I didn't know, at all. I realized I had no idea what happened, in our history, because no one talks about it. So I was able to talk to a lot of indigenous people on set that had either themselves been in residential schools or knew, had a family member. Like everyone knows someone very close to them that was, affected by these events. So yeah, I'm really happy that they did that, because I feel like no one really talks about it, and it seems convenient to not talk about it, but so many people were really affected by that storyline.
Yeah, at first I thought they were going to go into there was like a highway where a lot of indigenous people, I think it's mainly women, disappear, because you see them like kind of like almost like a drone footage of a highway, and they're talking about the missing. At first I thought they was going into that story, but instead they go into that one, which is still very impactful.
Yeah, no, it's a great storyline, and they did a good job too, because the people who created the show are the people that created The Crown on Netflix. So they're from the UK, and they understand that they want to tell these stories, but that they're also probably not the best people to go into details and tell this history. So they were really smart and hired Tracy Deer, who is an Indigenous director, fantastic, like blowing up right now, doing so many wonderful things. And they also, relied on Elmaya Telfeathers to, read the scripts and give her feedback on the scripts, and many different Indigenous communities as well that were able to read the scripts and give their feedback on what they thought was, the right representation of their community, versus so many movies in the past have, since it's been very sensationalized, these storylines of suicide and rape and all that stuff. So I think that they wanted to not do it in a way that's just, been done way too many times and has not really been the right way to tell these stories.
Which is good to know that they've done that much research into it.
Yeah. And they said, from everyone that was Indigenous that was part of the project, they said every single note that they gave was taken. So
awesome. That is good to know. And I loved, I forget the character's name, but she had the art thing there. I loved all the art that they had in there.
Yeah, her the character's name was Bee, and she was played by Tantu Cardinal, who is like, a Canadian treasure. She was opposite Kevin Costner in Dances with Wolves. So like she's.
Okay. I wonder why she looked familiar. Yeah. I didn't look her up because I was, focused on you. So I was like, I'm not gonna get sidetracked. So I didn't look her up.
Yeah, she's in Scorsese's new film as well. What is it called? Something Flower Moon. It's coming out. I think in the spring. I think it's coming out for like Cannes area, maybe. I think that's like when the premiere is gonna happen. But anyways, yeah, she's fantastic. Just like such a badass woman who's been through a lot of shit. So she had some great stories on set. Yeah, she's wonderful.
Nice. What was it like working with Shamar Moore in S.W.A.T?
Oh, he was awesome. He is, you know what? He is just, the gentleman that you would expect. He's very suave. So, welcoming to everyone on his set. And yeah, he just seems so chill too. Like he seems just like, a very chill dude that loves his job. And I got to spend a couple days with him and, the rest of the cast and crew. We got to do some fun, like stunts, and there was like a heist going on. So it was I think I was there for like a week, and we did a lot of, pretty cool action stuff. So it was a blast. I can't complain.
Do they ever, just out of curiosity on S.W.A.T, do they ever have like actual SWATs or police or anything that like help train like how they would prepare in that situation?
Yeah. So on sets for like SWAT, when I was on Law and Order, when I was on Three Pines, most sets that have some kind, if it's like medical or police, all that kind of stuff. Like when I was on Transplant as well, they always have, someone that's an expert in that field, so that you can ask them. Or, if you go to do something on set, they can come up to you and be like, you probably wouldn't do it that way, just to let you know. Or, like they just kind of help guide you in doing, all these things while you're trying to like deliver dialogue and So it's very nice because you just have someone to ask, be like, okay, do I inject here or there? Like that kind of stuff. So yeah, it makes you look way less stupid, which is great.
So some of the people that you worked with besides Shamar, who that you thought you would never work with before, or who do you enjoy working with the most on set? Maybe learn some more tips on set, anything like that.
One person that I really enjoyed working with was Mariska Hargitay, who's the lead on Law and Order SVU. So she plays Olivia Benson. And she was really cool because I grew up watching Law and Order, and just getting the audition, I was like, oh, what? So when I booked it, it was definitely one of those like bucket list roles that is just like every day you're like, pinch me. Wow, this is so cool. So when I got to set, I was nervous. I wanted to do a good job. And she came up to me while they were doing hair and makeup tests, and she was like, just to let you know, this show is about our guest stars. Like we do the same shit every week. We solve the crime, so every week it's about you guys. So if we can help you in any way, we're here for you. And she just kind of, established a very like chill set and the kind of space where you could try things and not feel, like as an actor, if you're nervous, you're less likely to, maybe try something different or just be more creative on set because you don't want to take up their time or you don't, all those things. So it was nice that she was just kind of opened that door to be as creative and as collaborative as possible. So she was very cool. Like she like runs that set. She's like such a boss, but in the best way possible.
Yeah. My mom was just saying two of her favorite shows.
Oh yes, Law and Order is so good. I love it.
Yes.
I got to get into it. I watch so much, it's hard for me to.
Well, I mean, there's like 23 or 4 seasons. There's a lot,
I think I'll just go ahead and binge it. I'll just take a couple months off and just binge them.
Right.
Yeah. Plus, there's like different categories. You have the regular Law and Order. You have SVU.
Organized crime.
I can't remember the rest of them off the top of my head, but there's other
so
ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Dick Wolf has a lot of shows.
Yes.
he's good.
Yeah, and like I said, they have people in there, to kind of make them more realistic. I watched this one lawyer on YouTube, and they was saying a lot of the law, like in the Law and Order ones, just the regular ones, a lot of the law when they're in court is correct. Not always everything else, but a lot of the law they have that's correct. So
a lot of the law. I'll say that. A lot of the law.
A lot of the law.
A lot of the law.
Yeah, I'm kind of obsessed with like law things and true crime and stuff. I'll watch actual trials. I mean, I'm like,
yeah,
I'm weird.
No, that's not weird. Like, it's fascinating. Honestly, I just watched the Murdaugh murders and wow, the things people do. You're like, woo. It's just interesting. It's human behavior, like the lengths that people will go to, I don't know, save themselves, cover things up. Like, it's pretty wild.
Yeah, I was watching the trials. Like, they had hardly anything because you can't really take, because none of the documentary, at least what I've told, I've never watched the documentaries because I watched the actual trial of what they brought in. And it's just like they got him on like basically nothing. It was like, I don't know. It was just so weird. I don't know if he actually did it. Obviously he did. He's a bad person. He did the financial stuff, but like the actual killing, I don't think he did. He probably knows who did it.
But he's guilty, right?
Yeah, they convicted him. He's guilty.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like he had hardly any blood. I think he had like one smear of blood on one piece of clothing that they had in evidence. And I forget what the other evidence is. I'm watching another trial now, so some of that stuff from that trial is out of my mind.
But he for sure was standing there when whoever did
probably. Yeah, I don't think he pulled the trigger, but I think he knows who did, and I think that's what made him look guilty. But I don't know if somebody
rat that person out. Like, don't you think he's that much of a piece of shit that he would rat them out?
I think he's worried. My personal opinion, best by watching it, is I think because he's so in debt in his crimes and whatnot. And obviously, like I said, he's a bad person. He's done crimes. He's obviously guilty of financial shit.
Yeah.
But I think somebody wanted to take his other son out as well. So I think he's kind of protecting his other son.
Oh, which one? Buster? The older one?
Mm. That's what I think. Because he knows who does. Huh?
What's Buster doing now?
I'm not sure. I haven't really seen much since the trial ended, but so I don't really know. I don't really keep up on the.
Yeah,
like I said, I'm invested in another trial right now, but
I feel like Netflix has to like make a few more episodes.
Yes, I haven't seen any of the documentaries. I've only watched the actual trial itself, so I know nothing about the documentaries.
Oh my gosh. Like the extra stuff that has happened.
Oh, really?
Is insane. Like the mother and the son is I think the fourth death in this family.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I think because, Paul, they had like, he had the boat thing,
Yeah.
where he, I don't know if he was driving or not or whatnot. They didn't really confirm anything, but he had the boat accident, which killed and injured people. And I think somebody went to basically get revenge for that. And like I said, this is just my theory from watching the trial and listening to like actual lawyers talk about it. But I think somebody went to like the kennels or whatever to take revenge on Paul. Alex may or may not have been there, but he at least knows who did it. My personal opinion.
Hmm.
And they went to kill Paul. They brought their own shotgun because none of the murder weapons was found. They do have guns and evidence, but none of them were actually confirmed to be the murder weapon. And Paul had actually had a gun stolen like at a party a long time ago, which happened to be like the same type of gun that was used as one of the two guns because two guns was used.
Yeah, there's two different ones. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he'd gotten a replacement, but so they'd had a lot of threats and everything. So I think, they was out at the kennel. So I think Paul had one gun with him. Somebody came to possibly do their revenge or whatever. Paul was, I think, killed first according to what they think. And they wasn't expecting Maggie to be there. And I think she maybe tried to take off or whatever. And I think there's some shots in the leg or lower part of her body. And then she got shot in the head. But I think they originally went to go for Paul. But like I said, that's my personal opinion by watching the trial and everything. None of that. Obviously, the jury didn't think that. But I think they should have had a change of venue because they had it where he was like, did all that financial shit and really bad stuff. So I think they basically convicted him because of most of his financial stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's crazy. Like, even when he would call 911, like, the operators were like, like, because they were like, this guy, like, everyone knew,
They had a bomb threat while doing the trial.
Whoa.
They had to, like, clear out the court, and they didn't have court for, I forget how long it was, but, a couple hours wherever where they checked out the courtroom. But yeah, they had to clear it out because they had a bomb threat during the trial.
Wow.
That's crazy.
But yeah, there's so much like weird stuff. But like I said, I don't know much of the backstory. I didn't really know of these people until the trial started going on. So
yeah,
I know none of the backstory. All I know is what happened in trial.
Yeah, well, I would highly recommend checking out the doc. It's only 3 episodes, so.
Oh, really? Yeah, I was like, no, I don't want to get, because unless it's actually put in evidence of court, it's like, I don't want to get confused by it or whatever. But eventually, when I have time, I'll check it out, see how much got actually brought to the trial as evidence. But yeah, there was a lot of stuff going on around that family. It was crazy.
Oh, yeah.
I guess I'll watch the documentary. I'm just like, I know nothing of what's going on, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, speaking of like sort of trials and imprisonment, you were a prisoner in Star Trek Discovery.
I was.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that was a really fun. The show shoots in Toronto, so we get to audition for that show quite a bit as actors in that city. So, you're always excited when you get an audition for Star Trek because it's just such, a bucket list show. But it's a tough show to get on as well. So when I got it, finally, I was so happy, and my scenes were great, and we got to shoot on that, the like really cool volume, like the 270-degree stage, and it was just like such like a technical experience. It was rad. Like I had a really good time shooting, with Sonequa. She was
from Walking Dead. She was on The Walking Dead too.
Yes.
Like I haven't watched any of them. I just watched the episode you were in, so of course I'm lost. But I realized the cast got Doug Jones is in it, Anthony Rapp, who was in Rent, and he also did a episode of Psych because he's a singer musical. I was like, wow, they got Anthony Rapp, Doug Jones, Sonique. They got a great cast on there.
Yeah, they do.
I've watched quite a bit of it because my husband loves Star Trek, so I've actually watched all of it. And then so I told him, I was like, oh, we got to watch one of these episodes, and he's like, oh, normally he knows the character right away, but until he started watching the episode, he didn't recognize yours right away. But yeah, he was excited that he got to watch Star Trek.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, it was a really exciting show to be on. We shot it during COVID too, so it was all like the insanity of the pandemic and this like super high tech set. And I was lucky I didn't, my prosthetics were pretty simple. But some actors that get on there, spend hours.
I was gonna say like 8 hours, 12 hours, whatever.
Yeah, and some of them, are able to be on the show multiple times because they look so different every time they're on it. So one of my friends has been on it. I think he's played 2 different characters because one time, he wasn't recognizable at all. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It was a great show.
So who knows? Maybe you'll be on it with some sort of alien or.
Yeah, you never know. You can always come back, like as long as you don't die. And I didn't. No, I didn't die. So there you go. I got beamed up, and I was very excited about that.
But yeah, since it was just simple like prosthetics, it almost kind of looked like stitching or something. It wasn't stitching, but I don't know how else to describe it. But how long did that take to get put on?
Oh gosh, every day it was probably like 10 minutes. It was so quick. Yeah, I was lucky. I was very lucky. And they were like, okay, people will recognize you. And I was like, yay!
People get recognized.
Yeah, which was fun. So, but yeah, like her costume was so cool, and she was badass, and it was just such a fun role to play. And I got to do all my scenes as well with Michael Grey Eyes, who is awesome. He just did Firestarter. He was in that. He's just been in everything. I feel like the past 2 years he's been like a really busy dude. So it was fun to like get to know him as well.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And you also have done a voice for video game, Far Cry 6. Was it 6 or 5?
Which 5? 5. Yeah, Far Cry 5. Yeah, that was fun. I got to work with one of my actress friends from way back in Toronto. Her husband is a video game director, so I got to work with him for the first time on that game. And she like electrocutes people in kiddie pools, so it was a pretty fun role to play. And making video games is so different from theater, film, television. You create the physical part of your character in one stage, and sometimes you'll do the face cam as well as at the same time, and you're acting with other actors. And then other times you go in and do just like normal random movements that your character could do at any point. And then you'll go in months later and do all the voice work for it, and all like all the different sentences or words or whatever that your character could say. So it's just such a different process to make a video game. Sometimes you're working on it for like a year and a half, but like randomly, here and there. So it was fun though. It was like you get to use your imagination a lot working in a volume, and nothing that is around you is actually there. So
my son actually has that game.
Far Cry 5?
Yeah.
Nice.
But he hasn't played it in so long he couldn't remember the characters, unfortunately. I told him that I was talking to you from Far Cry 5, and
tell him the one with the pet bear, and there's a dog, a bear, and I think there's a pet pig in it too. No, maybe it's a bear. Anyways, lots of animals.
Yeah, I haven't played. I don't have any of those games, but I knew my son liked the Far Cry series, so immediately I was asking him about it, but he hasn't played it in a while, so he didn't remember.
Yeah, most of them were shot in Toronto, so I know a lot of the actors in a lot of them. So,
is there, if you can talk about it, is there anything you can talk about that you're working on or coming out soon that we can check you out in?
Well, I just did a couple episodes of Murdoch Mysteries that came out, I think, just 2 weeks ago, I think. So I had that come out, and then me and Gavin are also working on a few films here in Windsor that we're going to be shooting over the next, I guess, couple of years. We have about three that we're excited to go on. So one of them is a vampire movie. Then we have a thriller like cult movie, and then we have another one that's more of like a dramatic two-hander one. So we're just kind of getting settled here in Windsor and excited to make our own projects and auditioning for now that I'm not doing next season of Three Pines. I've just kind of been able to start auditioning for other things too. So kind of doing that and seeing what happens.
Nice.
Yeah.
Speaking of kind of cult like movies, well, at least this is the way I took it. But you was in Helix in season two. It seems like your group kind of gets in with like a cult. Like I wasn't able to watch every single episode because we got hung up. It was like we'll watch a little bit of season one, see what the story is like, and then we'll skip over and watch your episodes. But we got so kind of invested. I watched more season one than I did of yours, unfortunately.
No,
I did watch the last episode though that you was in, but it seemed like your character was in like a cult like.
Yes, yeah. So the first, it's kind of like almost like anthology, like the first season. There are the same characters, but it happens in like different areas.
I wondered why. Like I said, was watching season one, and we almost finished that, and then I watched the last episode you was in on season two, and that's basically all I got. So I got to see that one, but it seemed like it was kind of a cult like surrounding.
Yes, yeah. The second season all happens like basically on this island where this outbreak happens, and you slowly realize that maybe not everyone's there, willingly. Yeah, you're like, oh. Yeah, but that was a great show to be part of. I had a couple friends that were in the first season, and like tons of people that were in the second season that I know, obviously because I shot with them. But funny enough, the building that we shot the second season of Helix in, we actually shot part of Three Pines in too. So it's like this really old monastery near the city that a lot of shows use because there's so many different parts of the building that are creepy and cool and that they can use for so many different things. So it was fun to go back there and be like, oh yeah, this place. It's so but we've been lucky. Like Toronto, Montreal, we get so many like fun shows, sci-fi shows, good action shows. So we've been lucky that we get to play on these big budget productions. We've been very spoiled.
I was looking through your Internet Movie Database here, and I don't know if it's called Here Piggy Piggy or Squeal. It's a short.
I think it was originally called Here Piggy Piggy, but I think when it came out, they called it Squeal. Yeah.
Okay, and what was that about here? I'm taking a look at it. Three women take the law into their own hands when justice isn't served to predatory men. Where could we find that if we want to check that out?
I think it's on YouTube. I think so. I think it was released a couple months ago because we did some film festivals with it, and then but that was like I think the film festival run was done like last year, so it should be I believe on YouTube.
Yeah. Actually, this kind of sounds familiar. Was there a part where the three of you were like out in the snow or something and tied someone or maybe I'm thinking of something else. I don't know. It just looks, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of something else.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm like, I feel like snow I would remember because.
Okay, maybe I'm thinking of something else that just sounds like that plot. So never mind.
Yeah, no, for that one we were definitely not in the snow. We shot that in Los Angeles. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, I don't know. It seems like the end of times, all this crazy stuff that's going on. It might snow there. I don't know.
Oh, I know. Well, it did. It did 2 weeks ago.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I almost forgot about that. People were posting that, like, is it snowing?
Like, it was.
I'm sorry. I was looking for the squeal clip. Where did you say it snowed where it wasn't supposed to?
In LA, it snowed.
Yeah,
oh, yeah. Didn't they get like 2 feet of snow or something? Or
well, that might be but like the fact that it snowed in the Hollywood Hills was pretty intense too.
True.
We're not used to that.
Yeah. Yeah. Who was it? Oh my gosh, I can't think of his name right now. He had it on his Facebook. He was in Arrow, and he was also on Torchwood, the main guy in Torchwood and Doctor Who. Oh my, I can't think of his name, and it's gonna kill me right now.
John Barrowman, my husband.
Thank you. Yes, John Barrowman.
He's
Thank
like,
you.
He
I know.
took off his headphones.
And I've met him too at Dragon Con too. It's like, oh my gosh. But I think he did like a video from like his house there, reported out to the pool and stuff, and he filmed on his Facebook how it was snowing like right at his house, and he's like, it is snowing right now.
Damn. That's crazy. Yeah, that's the thing. People aren't used to it there at all, you know, so when it snows, it's a really big deal. And, you know, you're driving down these roads and you're not used to this, like these crazy windy roads in the canyons. Like, no thanks.
What are a few interesting facts about yourself, or hobbies, or interests, or talents, or anything that we might not know about you that you can share?
Well, I guess one thing that people, I mean, I guess some people know, but like when I lived in LA, I used to do a live stunt show called Waterworld, Universal Studios. So that was like my day job. It's like a 20-minute live stunt show of Waterworld. So, you know, we drive boats and beat people up and zip line and, you know, drive through fire, all that fun stuff.
I was gonna say, like the movie Waterworld. So,
yeah, like the movie Waterworld. Yeah. So I do, you know, I do a lot of my own stunts and things like that. Pretty physical. I do a lot of fitness. I love to run. I grew up on a farm and like rode horses and things like that. So pretty like adventurous and outdoorsy type of person. So I like to bring that into my work. It's always fun, you know.
What got you into wanting to do stunts?
It was actually just wanting to be on set, but you know, early on in my career, it's definitely hard to get jobs. So it was easier to be on set sometimes because of, you know, like my talents and like the physical world. So I was able, it was a little bit easier to sometimes like contact a stunt coordinator. And it was like more of a traditional like route, as in like, you know, you contact people and you hustle and you get jobs, versus an actor just kind of like, I just audition and sometimes get the role. So this felt like I had a little bit more control, and I was able to get on set and meet people and get, you know, like stunt roles with like lines and like these big movies. So it kind of just came as a different avenue to get into the industry for me. Yeah. So it was good because it kind of like, you know, fed off of each other essentially.
Did you go to any stunt schools or anything, or just?
I trained with like a lot of the stunt coordinators and their like main, you know, their main like partners or like right hand people on their teams. So I was lucky that, you know, I would get together or like hear about like, hey, we're going to go work out at this gym on the weekends. So, you know, I was able to like go train with people, and that's kind of like how you meet people and how you get jobs and like recommended. So it was
just networking.
Yeah, networking while punching people. It was great.
Give me the job.
Guys, I have to run. I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. I was going to say
it's been about an hour.
It's been about an hour. I was like, did you have to go or not?
Yeah, no, it was such a pleasure to chat with you guys, though.
Yep, thank you for coming, and you're always welcome back.
Social media or anything that you would like me to share?
Yeah. If people want to follow me on Instagram, is like the best place. That's kind of where I'm the most active, and my handle is @SarahFilmBooth.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you have a great night. Thanks again.
Thank you, guys. Have a great weekend.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
All right. So, as I posted earlier, Robin Sydney, she got a job, so she'll be joining us on Friday the 31st. So we'll got that information up. So next Saturday, we'll figure something out. I'll post it, and that's about up with that. Let's see. All right. So
I have Sarah's Insta in the chat for people who would like the link. And then I don't always remember to put the links when I do the audio version for Spotify, but usually people save their handles and stuff, so hopefully that's easy.
Yeah. Yep. Sarah Film Booth, or @Sarah Film Booth.
Yeah. When I typed it in immediately, because I already actually had a tab and ready to go just in case she wanted me to share it. So yeah. So, yeah, it was really easy to find.
Yeah. I did watch. I forget if I told you I watched Cocaine Bear. It's
Hey,
hilarious.
he was talking about a little bit
Oh my
that
gosh,
last week.
so good. I'll probably watch it again later, but I'm gonna watch some Evil Bongs though, and Ginger Dead Man, of course, for next Friday. Not
Nice.
yeah,
Yeah, she was in a lot of those Evil Bong movies, Robin.
yeah.
I know I just kind of glimpsed through her IMDb. I haven't really put much work into hers yet because I've had other stuff going on. I have to kind of work at one person at a time.
Well, yeah, yeah. I got the Evil Bong set, the stash kit that the Full Moon had. So, and I think it was her. I think she actually signed the box. It was like a limited edition. The first 100. I forget what number I have, but got signed by Charles Band and her.
Nice. And
So,
I saw she was in Ginger Dead Man.
yeah,
More than one of those. So
yeah. So she's a Full Moon
yeah,
friend. There we go. We got the Polonia pals and the Full Moon friends.
yeah. I've seen most of the Evil Bong movies and stuff are on Tubi, so that shouldn't be too hard.
I think Corona Zombies was on Tubi too.
Oh yeah, I forgot she was in that one too.
So,
I saw that one as soon as it went somewhere that I was able to watch. It was so great. I think that's where they spliced like another movie in with what they'd filmed because they could only do so much.
right.
But
It's been a while since I watched the Evil Bong movies, so it's a good excuse to
I
watch
think
them.
I've only seen one of them, and I don't remember which one it was. I want to say I own one of them. I don't remember which one though. I want to say it's the first one, but I'm not sure. Oh, okay. I'm being told I own the first one.
Okay.
I have too many movies to keep track of. He must have seen it sitting around somewhere.
The Evil Bong movies are so weird. It might have been the first one or the second one, but I know Cheech was in one of them too.
Oh yeah.
So,
Oh, Tommy's in.
or maybe it was Tom.
I know Tommy's in at least one, if not more.
Oh, okay, okay, I got it mixed up. He's in it, not yeah.
Yeah, Tommy's in it.
Of
But I
course.
would have took your word for Cheech because I didn't know.
I was thinking, yeah.
But yeah, Tommy's on the cover of at least one of them, so I know he's in at least one.
I got it mixed up, not yeah. So, yep, that'll be funny to watch him again.
Also, I made my first sale this week already on my Etsy shop. Really excited about that.
Cool.
I built that up in like a week. I'm still working on my page. I gotta like kind of put more. Like I don't have a banner made or anything like that, but I got plenty of products. I got my fire shark. I got a couple unicorns, and then that I made on there. I didn't like steal somebody's picture. I made. Well, I didn't like draw them, but I created them digitally, kind of like how I do the thumbnails.
Mm-hmm.
And then I made a coffee cup this week that said, "Don't make me snap" on one side in red lettering, and on the other side it says, "I watch true crime for breakfast." Pretty proud of that one.
Fun. Uh,
Yeah, I know. Nobody really cares, but I'm proud of it.
no, I'm sorry. I'm tired. Long day, crazy. I wasn't yawning at it. No, that's cool though. So I saw that Fire Shark and stuff. So it's just different products that you're working on. So
Yeah, right now I'm just doing coffee mugs. I have one tumbler and a mouse pad just because I'm trying to figure out what to pick. But right now, so far, all my work is fitting better onto the coffee mugs. So right now, I'm just mainly picking coffee mugs.
So for the site though, just curious, like what do you like pick items you want to sell and then you put your designs on it, or how does that work? Like they put it on, or how?
Yeah, basically, you make the artwork and then you place it on the product that you want to sell, and then the other company makes it.
Okay. And they get like a percentage for
Yeah,
it? Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
I create all the work, all the like artwork for it.
Okay. I was just wondering how that worked there. So interesting.
Probably the easiest way to explain it.
Yeah. I don't want to get up early and go to work tomorrow. I went in on my day off yesterday for a little bit, and I was like gonna watch more stuff like maybe Helix or something, but I was like, oh, it'll give me overtime. Sure, why not? I'll take a little bit. So I did a 10 to 4, and but usually I like having my 2 days off. To do something one day, relax one day. So yeah, it is what it is, though. What do you say?
He sung Monday, Sunday, Happy Day.
Mm. My happy days are Thursday and Friday. That's my weekend. So.
She likes the Happy Days theme, apparently.
got all happy.
Got the dog wound up, so hey. I don't know if you heard her scurrying around her little jingly collar.
Yeah, I heard her like getting all excited, like, "Oh, what a happy day!"
All her tags jingle when she moves, like all her like rabies tag and her name tag and all that.
So,
Your mom said, "I'm happy every day." That's good.
it's good to be happy.
I got the other one sitting next to me, staring at me on the floor. He was bothering me a little bit, so I was kind of leaning, rubbing on him, so he wouldn't like jump up on me or anything. So right now, he's just sitting there staring at me. I think Rogue's getting ready to go outside.
Just staring at you.
Pretty much. he has nothing to do with me at any time, unless it's involving food or when I'm over here, and then he's like all over me.
That's because he just ate.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he's not sitting in the chair next to you.
No, he's sitting next to the chair next to me on the floor, staring at me. Yeah, but I'm surprised he's not up. I keep forgetting to put this up. So I had it up a couple weeks ago when we had our um, school meetings. I do them all digitally, so I don't have to walk around the school.
And, for that Etsy store or whatever, you should do like a House of Horrors Tumblr.
True, I could. I just have to
Something.
create something.
Some sort of
Or use
design or
that
something.
one I already have.
Figure something out. Yeah, that'd be cool. Like something for the House of Horrors people. Drake.
Yeah. Let's see. Go to my new tab. See, I can make clothes. I can make, but I try to make clothes on something. One of the creations, I forget which one. I think it was. I have a wooded, like creepy woods with like a wolf eyes in the back of it, and I tried to make that into a shirt because I thought it looked really cool, but it didn't come out. Wait, it was on the shirt, didn't look right. But so I put it on a mug and a tumbler. I can make ornaments, notebooks, magnets. I can make some stickers.
That could work.
Yeah, I can make. Yeah, I'll make some stickers maybe.
It's like House of Horrors T-shirt would be cool. I could wear it to conventions and stuff.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I'll have to see. I'll pull up that picture that I already have made and see if it looks decent on a shirt.
All right.
I can make us some merch.
It's like people can watch us and now they can wear us. Watch it and wear. My mom said that she'd buy a mug or a shirt.
Okay.
Or you could buy them both.
Yeah, true. True. Yeah, I'll have to. Okay. I'll see if like that one design that I already have that has both of us and that has the house, the one we have the banner for on the Facebook page. I'll see how well that transforms onto a product and see how it looks. Like I said, I've already tried to make one shirt and it wasn't coming out right, so I didn't make it into a shirt.
Right.
But I can here pull this up. I can show what they look like. There I got. Let's see, I got a fire shark. I really like this fire shark. I like how it turned out. I see. It's not pulling up. Okay. And then I got these mugs. It just kind of looks like woods, but if I clicked on them and made them bigger, you would see wolf eyes. I don't know if you could see my cursor. Can you see the cursor on the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Like right here, I have a wolf. You can kind of see him, but I tried to make one bigger and it didn't share it. So there's my mugs, the ceramic mugs. Don't make me snap. I watch true crime for breakfast. But unicorns are kind of cool as well. But I think the wolf in the woods, the fire shark, and the true crime mugs, I think are probably my favorite. I'll put a link if anybody wants to check it out. And then stop sharing that. And then I will look into seeing how it will turn out on a shirt.
Okay.
I can't see them. Well, I got the link in the chat. So if you want to go click it and check it out, then I'll see about if it doesn't look good on a shirt, I might not put it on a shirt. But like I said, the wolf in the woods, it wasn't turning out very well as a shirt.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. Because I keep all like my thumbnails and creations and stuff for here. So I know I got the banner that I made for the Facebook page. I can use that without making something new. Or I can make a new picture too. It just depends what I have time for this week.
Okay.
But there's no school this week for spring break, so I might have time.
All right. Well, I gotta get up at 5 tomorrow, so gonna call it a night, I guess. Anything else before we go? That's probably about it, I think. So, I already talked about Rob and Sydney, and I'll see about Saturday. I'll post up what's new, and we can talk about some stuff. Maybe if we can't get a replacement. So, all right. Thanks for everyone who's watching and listening in the future and all that. All right. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.